But if our liturgy director will allow me, and if you guys will allow just a second, I want to tell you that I kind of like it. Advent does have its own dignity. But there's something to be said between the point you begin and the point you end, point A and point B. The journey, the beginning of that journey and its destination. And sometimes to see better why we are on the journey, we have to see what the destination is. My favorite Christmas hymn is O Holy Night. I absolutely adore it. Because I think it speaks of a profound truth, and if, again, I will be allowed, maybe you can sing with me just the first verse. O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. This is the night of our dear Savior's birth. And the next one. Long may the world in sin and error abiding, then we again, and the soul felt its worth. Yes, the soul felt its worth. I remember hearing that, even like some of these catechumens, going through RCIA, going, what an interesting line, The soul felt its worth. But on this Gaudete Sunday, when the world is so searching for hope, it occurs to me that searching for hope and the search for it, and even the appreciation of it, is something that is very worthy and something that we all need. But I would agree, brothers and sisters, that hope means very little if it's not something that touches our heart first, if it's not something that resonates deep within. If our hope is not found there, if it has not reached there, then it's not really hope at all, is it? Because we all know that the problems that we struggle with, the pains that we endure, the crosses that come our way, both in our personal lives and in the world, also reach down to that very core. So it makes sense that a certain hope, the hope that God would bring, would reach down just as deep, if not deeper. Recently, I was talking with a friend she works at a parish, and one of the other priests who belongs to that parish, and we were talking about Pope Francis. I said, why is it that so many people are made uncomfortable by Pope Francis? And I'm not talking about the majority, but there are a certain set of people who are very uncomfortable about his teachings, about just how much he pushes us to live the gospel, and how that makes us uncomfortable inside. I said, what is it that does that? And my priest friend very clearly, gently but firmly said, because we forgot what it's like to feel worth in our souls. We forgot what it's like, not just the words and the vocabulary, we forgot the very experience of what it's like to feed the poor and to care for them. We forgot who we are. And a huge part of Advent, and for that matter, a huge part of the Christian message, and who Jesus is to remind us who we are and what we're worth. Not because of what we do or who we know. What is the old saying? It's not about being a human doing, it's about being a human being. It's about recognizing that before anything is accomplished or rejected, before any of us take any step in life, whether we've been living 10 years, 20 years, or 80, and every single moment along the way, our worth in God's eyes is so immeasurable that if we knew it, it would probably blow us away so completely. But I think it's true among all the different institutions, and even the way we talk to ourselves. Listen to it sometimes. Whether it's the need for more wealth, or the accumulation of more goods, or gadgetry, whatever it might be, sometimes we get lost in the mix. Or sometimes our language can be very self-appreciating, very rude. The way we talk to each other, even in jest sometimes. Do we recognize that sometimes those words have an effect? And that if you proclaim a message long enough, though it may be untrue, often it is believed. Instead, what about those words that reach to the core of who we are? Because as Christians, brothers and sisters, one of the fundamental rules or laws is that the God who is love came to proclaim that love. And we, made in his image and likeness, are called to receive and give love. It's our very basic vocation. And without that, nothing means much of anything. The morality, the teachings of the church, our practice, our liturgy, all of it is extremely devoid of meaning if we don't have that one spark that started it all. Indeed, all of our lives at some point were touched by God in a very profound way. And he continues to prod the human heart. Inside all of us, if we listen carefully and are watchful enough, we recognize that need in our heart to be accepted, to be loved, to belong, to give, and to be appreciated for that giving and that talent, to be helped along the way, to be guided. All of this is not just a human need, it's who we are. And I think the sooner we realize that, the sooner we reawaken all of those inner senses which recognize the feel of human love, which recognize its word, the greater our world will live in peace, beginning with each of us. So indeed that spark remains. He comes to remind the soul of its worth because it's been forgotten or denounced or rejected or ignored by so many. But this great Jesus whom we serve is coming to remind us. The morality I teach, everything I give you, all of it is because of that very basic fact, that slight building block, that you are beloved of God. You are his children. That, my dear friends, my brothers and sisters, in the midst of all that we endure and all that we go through in this life, is the most amazing revelation of all. Therefore, let that spark this Advent, that spark that we have within us, where God first touched us at our creation, at our baptism, and at every moment when he calls us, boom, and come forth, and winnow into a complete bonfire, such that the world will know who we are, that they will know who they are, and that the God who is coming will allow the soul to truly feel its worth.